global market for RFID is good, and I think if I'll go back to a couple of years back, 1 decade, I'm in this industry for a long time, and if I go back to 1 decade, then the market was RFID was started evolving from that point of time. And if you see the current scenario in India, currently into the market size was valued for India around 523 billion in 2022, and it is projected to approximately reach to around close to 1800 million, I think, by 2023. Sorry, 2030. So I think the it's a very good growth, and the growth side from 2021 to 2030 is approximately 14.1 CAGR. I mean, if you can see the growth of RFID in India, it is huge. I mean, I can see the difference because from the after spending 1 decade in this particular industry, in AIDC industry, I can see a sustainable, a substantial difference between the market and demand for RFID before 5 years or 6 years, and now the RFID demand is increasing really high. And basically, the major factors for this kind of increase in demand of RFID products, because of the many other factors, like for example, the government taking a lot of initiatives to boost RFID based solutions in various industry. And for example, the best example is your toll gates. If you see the NHI recently, all the cars are now come with FASTag this thing, and that is where the RFID is getting implemented, and it's a huge initiative for from government side to boost the RFID market in India. And secondly, if you see different kind of industry, then the adoption of tax is again increasing for many reasons, like for industry 4.0, or for IoT, or for smart manufacturing systems. The these are basically the major driving factors of India RFID market. I think like RFID in current situation is not at all like outdated. It's a future technology, if you can. So just like other technology, the RFID also now evolving a lot, as I mentioned. So earlier what is happening, the if you see the track and trace industry, the adoption of barcodes and other things was very, very less. People started using first the barcode scan readers and barcode labels in their products for a better tracking traceability solutions. And but RFID that time was very, very expensive, and so the adoption was RFID was little bit slow. But now coming with new kind of technology, RFID is now one of the kind of a biggest player for AIDC industry particularly. So AIDC industry means automatic identifications and data capturing industry, where the traceability is required. So in this industry, basically, the RFID future technology is also evolving like anything. For example, I'm just giving you example. We as a company, Newland as a company, we are really focused to RFID, and we have recently introduced a lot of wearable RFID devices. So what do you call wearable RFID? Wearable RFID is basically kind of a product which you can wear in your human body, and your hands will be completely free, and you can just track any material by just without using any kind of earlier it was handheld or fixed RFID. So without any other device, you can straightway uh, track a product, read a product from a distance. So this kind of wearable RFID also helps. For example, I'm giving an example for better understanding. For example, in airports, for the baggage reconciliations. For example, if the person, you know that in airports now, many baggages are coming with RFID tags. So if the person need to lift the RFID, the same person need to read also that particular tag. and for the reading they need to wear, so both the hands need to be free, otherwise there are two person will be required for that particular job. So one person, if they equipped with wearable RFID, they can easily move that bag and read that bag as well. So for baggage reconciliation kind of process, it is really really helpful. Another example for wearable RFID is, it will not only give a efficient helps in increase in productivity, but also it helps the company for long run, for any kind of for decreasing their manpower. For example, two persons or doing one job, and they can minimize their staff to 50%. So that will also give a better ROI to many companies. Another example of future RFID technology is that uh, you know right now there is a new technology comes as a tag. Earlier the tags are either in plastic or it is smart tags, but now there is a RFID transponder. So that transponder with will be kind of a it will be printed directly into the cloth or packaging using a biodegradable conductive inks kind of substance. And this ink, that doesn't need a chip. This ink is kind work as a passive RFID. So this kind of technology also coming in. So I think with this kind of futuristic technology, RFID is definitely going to be evolve like anything, and the demand will be definitely going to increase in many places. And in we as an industry person, I can easily say is loud, lot of people who are earlier using kind of a barcode scanners or barcode readers or barcode tags, they are now moving to the RFID for a better visibility, for a for more accuracy. The supply chain management depends on a few things. It depends on the industry. For example, if you talk about industry like your major e-commerce and logistic industry, or maybe 3PL industry, those who are giving logistic services to many other companies, they are really they they are really reluctant to use RFID devices and RFID technology because of the cost. Because as you know, in e-commerce, for supply chain because of the competition, the margin is very very thin per product. If they And RFID is much more costlier than your traditional barcode labels. Okay, so if they are going to put RFID in everywhere, that will be very costly for them. So they cannot bear that cost. Per shipment, their cost will be increased like anything. So that's one major challenge. So cost is the major challenge. For example, in other companies also who are now using the barcode labels, traditional barcode labels and readers, they are also sometimes reluctant to use RFID because of the expensive, because it is much more expensive than the traditional barcode readers and barcode labels. So that's the reason they don't want to, and the tracking, the software also a little bit costlier. So that's the reason they are little bit reluctant for the cost. So cost is the major factor, which is a big challenge for many companies. So they don't want to increase their cost. But now with the new technology, I think the barcode, the RFID readers prices are really really getting very aggressive, and I think which will in the future, which will really going to benefit and and encourage more and more companies to adopt the RFID technology for their these things. One more major challenge is the uh, lack of professional company. I mean, there are a lot of company who are majorly using in barcode scanners and readers. So there are very few companies there who can really give a kind of a real technology for RFID, because RFID is not only you put a RFID label and it will scan it. It will be the solution is completely different, and the veterans in the industry, or maybe a good solution provider can give this kind of technology and implement it very very well, strongly. Otherwise, if they will not select the right partner, right solution provider, then the technology is going to be a little bit confusing. So second factor is the confusion technology. Third is the kind of a the RFID as on today is not suitable for all kind of applications. Okay, so it is not, for example, for RFID tags has a big issue with kind of a metals and liquids. Okay, for example, if you're, for example, just giving an example, if RFID tags are really works on the radio technology, right? So for radio technology, if you are going to use it in a warehouse or in a like in a place where the percentage of metallic and liquid are really high, then the reading range is not very accurate, and sometimes it failed to read that particular product, that particular tag. So I think this is the major challenge. Kind of a, it is really not open, just like barcode. It is not open for each and every applications. It is the applications need to be very authenticate, where we can give RFID solutions. So it is not like, for example, if there are a lot of metals and other things, then RFID sometimes fail to uh, read that. So this is one of the major challenge. Last but not the least, the collision. Currently the RFID, as you know, the RFID works on antenna, right? So sometimes what happen, the best example is your tolls, NHI tolls. For example, it's a we normally call it tolls tag collision. For example, there are two cars coming in, then they have to optimize the RFID range in such a way that one RFID reader will only read that particular car or that particular tag, whichever closer to them. Sometimes what happens, because the RFID technology is widely spread into two, the antennas are work in two different technology. One is the linear, one is the circular. So for example, if you are using a circular technology, then whatever comes in that range, it will started reading. So sometimes the best example is your toll gates. Sometimes if two cars are in the tolls, then it might happen there is a cross docking might happen. If you want to read one car, but both the cars will be read from one RFID. So that is kind of challenges. So that challenges need to be controlled with with the right kind of product and right kind of solutions. So the future supply chain trend is, initially, as I have mentioned, the future supply chain trend are divided into different industries. For example, there are industry where the cost is really viable, single cost, so they may not go for this kind of product. But there are a lot of products where the rather than the cost, the tracking is really important with the help of RFID technology. So I think the future trend is something which is very like emerging for RFID kind of technology, because now people have started understanding the real need of RFID technology. Because barcode, for example, if you are putting a barcode label, some user has to scan it manually. Okay, and you cannot, for example, in a particular warehouse or in a particular manufacturing facility, you have to assign one user to track all this product one by one, scan one by one. But in case of RFID, it doesn't need to scan all the products one by one. The person, you can either scan it automatically through the fixed RFID, or with the help of the handled RFID, the same scan can be, the product can be identified, or maybe that can be read from a distance. So for example, there are places where it is not viable sometimes for the users to go to some kind of some kind of area where in the warehouse environment is entirely different. So there are some area blind spot are there where the user cannot even go close to the particular product and scan it with a barcode, with the help of a barcode scanner. So there they need something which they scan from a distance. So I think their RFID is really helpful, and they can scan from a from 6 meter or from 5 meter distance. And the future trend again, as I mentioned, the wearable trends is really getting liked by many users, because we are working with supply chain in many supply chain industry in India currently. And as per their current pain, the pain area is majorly the taking the right product at the right time and getting the right visibility. So with this kind of approach, I think now company has really started adopting RFID technology for their supply chain system. And majorly, there is another big opportunity, not only in supply chain, but I'm contradicting the topic a little bit, but in retail industry for self-checkout kind of process, now RFID is getting really very famous for any kind of self-checkout. I think majorly in garment industry. So RFID is really going to be a key, technology for many retail industry, and to optimize their supply chain, optimize their customer experience, everything.